All right, Jabosai, good morning. Let us begin. We are continuing this morning in Os Mem Aleph, in Tzidkas Hatzaddik. So remember again, yesterday, we started the very beautiful idea by Hatzaddik, namely the concept that through Emunah, a person is able to save themselves from Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Achirim. So the Hatzaddik spoke about the idea that the first Dibra, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, which many of the Mefarshim struggle to understand, what exactly is the meaning of that mitzvah? What is the commandment of Anochi Hashem Elokecha? So Hatzaddik understands, like many, that Anochi Hashem Elokecha is the mitzvah of Emunah, the mitzvah to believe in the Ribono Shel Olam. And when a person believes in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and remember, Hatzaddik spoke about the idea that belief takes on a couple of different forms. Number one, that ultimately, again, it is the existence of God that allows for the existence of everything else. Ultimately, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the creator of all, and the Ribono Shel Olam is everywhere. If a person goes ahead and has this emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so ultimately, again, this saves one from Anochi Hashem Elokecha. This saves one from Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Achirim, of worshiping other gods. And we spoke about the idea that this worship of the other gods, Avodah Zarah, people worship many different things, even though technically speaking, the only God they worship is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's easy to deify many things throughout the course of life. But if a person is solid in their emunah, it keeps them on the right path. So Hatzaddik goes on, he says, Ki Amru Chazal, it's actually on page Tzaddik Gimel, in Bi'urei Chasidus, on the left-hand side, the last couple of lines. Ki Amru Chachamenu Zal, Asa Mitzvah Achos, Mosrin Lo Malach Echad. So we'll see here, Hatzaddik begins something really interesting. Because after all, Chazal say, quotes over the Medrash Tanchuma, that if a person goes ahead and performs one mitzvah, Mosrin Lo Malach Echad, they give him, he is provided with a malach. He's provided with a malach. Shnei Amar, Ki malach havitzav elach l'shmarcha l'shamra min hamazikin. And we'll say, what's the point of this malach that I'm given? What's the point of this angel that I'm given after I go ahead and I do a mitzvah? This malach, this angel, saves me from harm. Saves me from harm. So if we take a look in the footnotes here, in Shin Samiches, so he writes something very interesting. So re'ei ma shekasav Rabbeinu b'sichas malach yasharis, asa adam achas, mosrin lo malach echad. If a person performs one mitzvah, the Ribono Shel Olam, he is given one malach, he's given one angel. Asa shtei mitzvahs, a person does two mitzvahs. Mosrin lo shnei malachim, ultimately a person is given two malachim. V'chulei, u'b'tanchuma sham esayim, in the Medrash Tanchuma it writes, u'mi hein ha-malachim. What are these malachim? Right? What are these angels? Elu shemishamrin osa min hamazikim. These are the angels which save one from all harm. They save me from the mazikin. Machar is the fun of Omer. Tnu kav l'tamo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'fi shekala olam kulam ali ruchos umazikin adkan. So it's such an incredible medrash that when a person performs a mitzvah, Kadosh Baruch Hu gives a person a malach. A person performs two mitzvahs, two malachim. And what's the role of these malachim? They protect me from danger. That's their job. They protect. So the more mitzvahs I do, the more malachim I have to protect me from the dangers of this world. Perish. Shekal inyane ha'olam he maleim dvarim hamazikim nefesh mikol tzad. Abos says Hatzaddik on a deeper level. What the Medrash is trying to convey to us is as follows: the world is filled with spiritual dangers. Just the nature of existence. The world is filled with spiritual dangers. Hatov kasher yishtamish l'ratz Hashem. So he goes on, he says that essentially what this means is as follows. On a deeper level, the world is filled with spiritual dangers. How do you combat the spiritual dangers of existence? By surrounding yourself with holiness and purity. It's interesting. Sometimes in life you could go ahead and negate or remove the dangers, and sometimes you just have to manage the dangers. So at the end of the day, the world is filled with these dangers that I can't take them away, I can't remove them. The best thing I can do is I can manage them. And how do I manage the dangers of this world? By surrounding myself with malachim, by surrounding myself with holiness and purity. So the more mitzvos I do, the more Torah I learn, the more I bolster myself spiritually, the more I surround myself with this angelic protection, the better armed I am to deal with the challenges of this world. That's what Hatzaddik is saying. So we'll say, so watch where he takes this. So if you turn the page to Tzaddik Dalid, he says, Vihine HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mashalem Schar al Kol Mitzvah Mida Kineged Mida. HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes, I remember in general there's a concept that the Rebbe Shalom runs his world with a degree, with Mida Kineged Mida, reciprocity. Reciprocity, Kfi Gadlus HaMitzvah Kach Ba Mida Yigadel Gam Schara Ubechein Kol HaMitzvos Kiblu B'nei Yisrael MeHaKadosh Baruch Hu Adi Shaliach. Supposed to listen to this. So the Rebbe Shalom runs his world with Mida Kineged Mida. So when it comes to the mitzvahs, how did we receive the mitzvahs? How did we receive the Torah? Through a shaliach. Who was the shaliach? Through an agent. Who was the agent? Moshe Rabbeinu. So we received the Torah through Moshe Rabbeinu. Therefore, umamela gam scharan hu mashenimtzar la'osa mitzvah malach hashomra. Supposed to listen to this. This is so incredible. We received the Torah through an agent, through an agent, right? Through an agent, and therefore what? When you do a mitzvah, when you learn Torah, you are rewarded through an agent as well. That's why again the Medrash writes, when I learn and I do mitzvahs, I'm given a malach to protect me. That's midah kineged midah. The Torah was given through a malach. Malach also means not just an angel, but an agent through Moshe Rabbeinu. And therefore the reward for Torah mitzvahs is also given through an angel, given through a malach that is sent to protect me when I learn, or as a result of my learning, as a result of my mitzvahs. But watch this. However, v'ulam, mitzvahs elu. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. V'lo yeh lecha Elohim achirim. Harishamu kol Yisrael b'pi hagvura. Now, while it is true that the Torah was given through an agent, while that is true, the Torah was given through an agent, that's true for everything but what? The first two commandments. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem your God, and lo yeh lecha Elohim achirim, you shall have no other gods. That was given through the Ribono Shel Olam himself. Therefore, Rabbi say, Midah Kineged Midah demands that the same way that those mitzvos were given through HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so too their reward comes through HaKadosh Baruch Hu as well. Watch this. He says, Harishamu kol Yisrael b'pi hagvura. Klal Yisrael heard these mitzvos through Hashem. The Gemara says there, I'm sorry, this is Lekach b'schar masha adam mekayim es hamitzvah shel anochi Hashem Elokecha. Therefore, the reward of Anochi Hashem Elokecha, yesh lo zchus lefi arka, haniskav midah kineged midah lekach, she'HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'atzmo shomro mikol ra, begashmios uberuchnios. We'll say, listen to what a beautiful idea this is. So it says Reb Tzaddik, this midah kineged midah. So midah kineged midah says, that's what, so remember, let's trace the progression here. We have the Medrash Tanchuma. Medrash Tanchuma says, well, I'm sorry, let's trace the previous progression. Rav Tzaddik says that when a person fulfills the mitzvah of Anochi Hashem Elokecha, the mitzvah of Emunah, ultimately again, they are guarded against Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Achirim, which again, I will say is a very logical and intuitive idea. Because if I bolster my Emunah, I protect myself from falling prey to false gods. Whether those be theological false gods, whether they be material false gods, the stronger my emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, the more I am able to guard myself against Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Achirim. That's Aleph, part 1. Part 2, Medrash Tanchuma. Every single time a person does a mitzvah, they're given a malach. Person learns Torah, they're given a malach. What's the role of that malach? That malach is there to protect me from the dangers which are filled in this world. The world is filled with dangers, spiritual dangers, material dangers, all types of dangers, emotional dangers. And so when I learn, and when I do mitzvahs, and I bolster myself with holiness, I am given angelic protection against those dangers. Where does that come from? So Hatzaddik says, oh, that's midah kineged midah. What's the midah kineged midah? The same way that Torah was given al yedei a malach, right? Torah was given through a malach. Who was the malach in this case? The malach was Moshe Rabbeinu. So just as Torah was given through an emissary, given through a messenger, so too what? So too The reward for the mitzvah, for Torah, is also given through a malach as well. The malach ultimately, again, is given to protect me. However, the first two mitzvahs of the Torah, which were not given through a malach, which were given through HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the reward or the protection from those mitzvahs comes from the Ribono Shel Olam himself. Therefore, again, when I fulfill the mitzvah of Anochi Hashem Elokecha, and I bolster myself with proper emunah, the reward from that mitzvah does not come from a malach. The reward for that mitzvah comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why, again, a person lives a life of emunah. A person bolsters their sense of emunah. At the end of the day, the protection then does not come from a malach, but the protection comes from none other than the Ribono Shel Olam himself. Mida kineged mida. Kadosh Baruch Hu gave me the mitzvah Anochi Hashem Elokecha, gave me the prohibition of Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Acherim. If I bolster myself with proper emunah, the Ribono Shel Olam, not a malach. It's not a malach who's sent to guard me. It's not a malach who's sent to watch over me. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu bichvodo ba'atzmo. When I bolster my emunah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu stands by my side, ready to help me, protect me, and help me engage in Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Acherim, in fighting off the false gods that are around us at all times. Right? So we'll stop over here for today. We'll pick up in Hashem with this incredible Yisod. Hashem tomorrow. Shkoyach.